Good night, viewers. Here are tonight's top stories. Vice President Barrett Jago attributes constant blackouts to GPL management and outdated transmission lines. Craig resident charged with $6.4 million fraud in alleged land sale scheme. Guyana police force arrests suspect in 2012 murder of Levoy Talgett. Also, Attorney General's Chambers responds to letter regarding police search at activist's mother residence. Radio host Shauna remanded to prison on marijuana trafficking charges. And finally, tragic incident at G2 Minerals Guyana Incorporated compound claims life of mammologist. Stay tuned for these updates. Craig resident charged with $6.4 million fraud in alleged land sale scheme. A 56-year-old resident of Craig, East Bank Demerara, EBD, was brought before the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Wednesday, facing allegations of defrauding an American citizen in a land sale scam valued at $6.4 million. The accused, Gopal Tiwari, appeared before Principal Magistrate Faith McGusty, where he was formally charged. The charge alleges that between May 8 and June 13, 2024, Tiwari, with intent to defraud, falsely claimed ownership of a parcel of land located at Lot 101 New Housing Scheme, Herstelling, East Bank Demerara. It is further alleged that Tiwari obtained the sum of $6,400,000 from the victim, identified as Earlyn Theodore Craig, under the pretense of selling the land. Tiwari has pleaded not guilty to the charge. According to reports from the Guyana police force, Craig first met Tiwari on April 5, 2024, at the Harbor Bridge Mall, where Tiwari inquired whether Craig was interested in purchasing land. Craig agreed to the sale, and between May 8 and June 13, he withdrew and handed over the agreed-upon sum of $6.4 million to Tiwari in Georgetown. However, following the transaction, Craig was unable to reach Tiwari or secure the property, leading him to file a complaint with the authorities. The investigation culminated in Tiwari's arrest on September 14, 2024. Upon being informed of the allegations, Tiwari denied receiving any funds from Craig. During the court proceedings, Tiwari's legal counsel, Dominic Bess, argued that the dispute stemmed from a disagreement between the two parties. Bess noted that while Tiwari has a prior conviction, there are no other pending charges against him. Despite objections from the prosecution, who pointed to Tiwari's past offense of a similar nature, Magistrate McGusty granted bail in the amount of $300,000. Tiwari is set to return to court on October 16, 2024, for further proceedings. Guyana police force arrests suspect in 2012 murder of Levoy Talgett. More than 11 years after the disappearance and murder of former Guyana Energy Agency, GEA, employee Levoy Talgett, the Guyana Police Force, GPF, has announced the arrest of Ryvan Shervin Francis, 46, who was wanted in connection with the crime since April 2022. Detectives from the Criminal Investigation Department, CID, headquarters, acting on intelligence, arrested Francis along the Soesdijk Highway. A wanted bulletin had been issued for Francis in relation to Talgett's murder, which occurred between December 23 and 24, 2012. According to police reports, Francis revealed during an interview that he had known Talgett since 2011, and that the two had become friends. A witness has also come forward, stating that Francis confessed to strangling Talgett in his car and subsequently burying his body. The witness disclosed that on December 23, 2012, Francis gave her a bank card to withdraw $60,000 from Talgett's account, which she later split with another individual, before returning $10,000 to Francis. The same witness told investigators that she saw Talgett with Francis on the night of December 23, 2012, and later became suspicious when she saw social media reports of his disappearance. After confronting Francis, he allegedly admitted to murdering Talgett at Ideal Road, Soesdijk, and burying his body. Talgett, who was 25 years old at the time, was last seen leaving his home in his Toyota Rom, PNN 8315, on December 23, 2012. His car was discovered 5 days later, abandoned in the Yarrow Cabra backlands along the Linden-Soesdijk Highway, but there was no sign of him. In January 2013, just days after Talgett's disappearance, Francis had been detained by police after they traced Talgett's phone, which Francis had been using. Although he initially claimed that Talgett had asked him to move the car and was alive and well in Suriname, Francis later retracted this statement. However, due to insufficient evidence, police were forced to release him, and the case went cold until a breakthrough in 2022 led to the reissuance of a wanted bulletin for Francis. Francis remains in police custody as the investigation continues. radio host Shauna Muna remanded to prison on marijuana trafficking charges. Shauna Muna, a 27-year-old radio host and singer from Charlestown, Georgetown, has been remanded to prison after being charged with possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking. Muna was arrested earlier today during a stop-and-search operation conducted on the Weldad Public Road, where over 30 pounds, 14.515 kilograms, of cannabis were discovered in her vehicle. Muna appeared before Magistrate R. Mohabir at the Weldad Magistrates Court, where the charge was formally read to her. She pleaded guilty to the offense and was remanded to prison until October 4, 2024, pending a probation report. During the search, law enforcement officials uncovered several parcels of cannabis concealed in a red and blue traveling bag found in the trunk of Muna's vehicle, which bore the license plate PAB 6190. The narcotics were wrapped in transparent plastic, with 2 bulky parcels and 1 small parcel discovered in the red bag, and 2 bulky parcels found in the blue bag. According to the police, Muna admitted ownership of the narcotics and stated that she resorted to transporting the drugs to cover medical bills for her hospitalized mother. Muna will remain in custody until her next court appearance. Tragic incident at G2 Minerals Guyana Incorporated compound claims life of mammologist. In a heartbreaking incident on Thursday, the body of 30-year-old mammologist Meshach Pierre was discovered at the G2 Minerals Guyana Incorporated compound, where he had been conducting a mammal survey since September 14. Pierre was found in a shared accommodation just before the afternoon work shift commenced. According to police reports, he had been residing at the site with his assistant, Filbert Denhart, and 11 other workers. On the day of his death, Pierre was seen approaching Denhart and 2 colleagues while they were seated in a shaded area, instructing Denhart not to return to their room due to a scheduled meeting. At approximately 14:55 HRS, Denhart headed to their shared room, only to find Pierre unresponsive on the floor. Despite the immediate response from the on-site medic, who confirmed Pierre's death, the tragic news shocked all present. The authorities were notified, and an investigation was promptly initiated. Pierre's body was transported to Bartica Regional Hospital for further examination. An autopsy was conducted by government pathologist Dr. Nihal Singh, with the cause of death determined to be compression injuries to the neck. Pierre's father, Marc Pierre, a veterinarian, identified the body. In the course of the investigation, authorities discovered a suicide note on Pierre's phone, addressed to his family and outlining his reasons for his decision. Filbert Denhart has been taken into custody to assist with ongoing inquiries as investigators work to piece together the circumstances surrounding this tragic event. The G2 Minerals Guyana Incorporated community mourns the loss of a dedicated professional, and our thoughts are with his family during this difficult time. Attorney General's Chambers responds to letter regarding police search at activist's mother residence. The Attorney General's Chambers has issued a formal response to the letter sent by attorneys representing rights activist Melissa Atwell, which sought details about a recent police operation at the residence of Atwell's mother in Eccles. In the official reply, signed by Principal Legal Advisor Ronetta Sargent, the Chambers explained that, according to information provided by the Guyana Police Force, an officer applied for and was granted a search warrant by the Diamond Magistrates Court. The warrant was based on reasonable suspicion that an offense under the Narcotics Act was being committed at the residence. The search, which took place on September 17, 2024, lasted approximately 50 minutes and was conducted in accordance with the law. According to the AGs Chambers, Atwell's mother, who was present during the search, confirmed that she was satisfied with the conduct of the officers involved. The response further noted that the operation was video recorded, including interactions between the main occupant and the lead investigator. While no illegal substances were found, the Attorney General's Chambers stated that the investigation remains ongoing. The police officers involved in the search were reportedly unaware of the occupant's relations to any other individual at the time of the operation. The AG's office fully denied any allegations of constitutional violations. The Chambers reiterated that the Guyana Police Force will continue to execute its duties impartially and in compliance with the Constitution. Additionally, the AG's office stated that it would vigorously defend against any legal proceedings brought against the state. The letter, which was copied to the Acting Commissioner of Police, included a copy of the search warrant. The attached warrant showed that the original magisterial district of Georgetown was amended to East Bank by hand, and a previously marked 2022 date was corrected to reflect September 17, 2024. Vice President Barrett Jagdeo attributes constant blackouts to GPL management and outdated transmission lines. Vice President Barrett Jagdeo has expressed his concerns about the ongoing blackouts faced by citizens across Guyana, placing the blame on a combination of outdated transmission lines and the management of the Guyana Power and Light, GPL. Speaking at his weekly press conference at Freedom House, Jago outlined the challenges the country is currently experiencing with its electricity grid. The vice president explained that the aging infrastructure, coupled with an increasing demand for electricity, is contributing to the system's instability. They are telling me that when they move some of these lines, it is causing instability in the system, or they have to take off the power to move a bit of the line. So, some of that is happening, some of it is the old system, and frankly speaking, we are not happy with the management too, Jago stated. Highlighting his dissatisfaction with GPL's performance, the vice president noted that he reached out to the company's management earlier in the week. I am as concerned as any citizen because we are trying to get more power into the system, but there is a lot of upgrade work to the transmission and distribution system that we have, Jago remarked. Jago acknowledged the current limitations of the grid, explaining that while the government is working to bring more power into the system, it is causing further instability. In response to these challenges, the government has initiated a tender process to upgrade the grid ahead of the anticipated gas-to-energy (GTE) project. He shared that approximately 20 companies have been pre-qualified to undertake significant upgrades to the grid, which will introduce redundancy and improve reliability. The demand has skyrocketed, Jago said, referencing the ongoing construction of 9 new hotels and a growing number of residential housing developments, all of which have added pressure to the grid. We are in a mad rush to keep pace until the big project comes on stream next year that will add 300 megawatts into the system. Despite the challenges, Jago emphasized that the government is committed to modernizing Guyana's power infrastructure. However, he admitted that the country is limping along for now, as the old transmission and distribution systems struggle to handle the increased load. Chief Executive Officer of GPL, Kesh Nandlall, echoed the vice president's concerns but assured that GPL is taking steps to stabilize the grid. It is a moving target, Nandlall stated, emphasizing the ongoing maintenance work aimed at preparing the system for the additional power that will be generated once the gas-to-energy project becomes operational. In the meantime, the government is actively seeking solutions to bridge the gap. Recently, 5 bidders submitted proposals to supply 60 megawatts of power through a power purchase agreement, a critical step in ensuring stable electricity during the upcoming holiday season and beyond. Vice President Jago remains hopeful that the ongoing efforts to upgrade the grid and add new power sources will alleviate the current instability, providing Guyanese citizens with the reliable electricity supply they need.